Hi there everybody, it's Chris here at Bluerhino Safaris. Let me tell you a funny story. I was thinking what I was doing this year in November, and I realized that I haven't really started on Lua or the bats or anything, and I thought let me do the bat migration, but what about doing the bat migration together with Malawi? And I thought that I had this brilliant idea to do it, and when I started working on my programs to plan the route, I realized that I've already planned it. So the route has been in existence, I just have never posted it on the website. So 2020 November we'll see the bat migration in Kasanka National Park in Zambia together with Malawi, and it's a 2-week tour, very nice holiday tour, having a combination of the bats, northern Zambia, and then Malawi down by the lake. So the bat migration happens every year between October and December, so November is slap bang in the middle of it. It's about 8 million fruit bats. It's a very, very nice experience. It's not anything that you would think it is. Most people are scared, and it's like the bats are going to fly into us, and they're going to get stuck in your hair and everything like that. It's none of that. It's a very peaceful, very quiet experience. You go out early in the morning, late in the afternoon, and you just see this extreme amount of fruit bats, which is the size of a hadida. That flies out and they do their thing. So let me tell you about the route, and you can have a look at joining the trip itself. So we're going to start our tour in Kasane in northern Botswana. From Kasane I go through to Lusaka. Vic Falls at this time of the year, November, is fairly low, so there's no real point in stopping there, but if you want to, you can always stop on the way back and stay over there. So we pass the Vic Falls, go to Lusaka for the second night, and then up to a staging campsite that we use before we go into Kasanka. Kasanka you pay for a 24-hour cycle, so we have to get in, do our bats, and get out again. Otherwise it becomes too expensive. So we sleep outside of Kasanka for the third night, and then we go into Kasanka for night 4 and 5. So 2 nights we are there, so 2 evenings that we can do the bats. We arrive there on the first day quite early, so we have enough time to do what we need to do. From there we travel up to the hot spring at Kapisha, and we spend the night there, have a nice relaxing time at Kapisha, and then up to the Malawi border where we sleep for a night before we cross over into Malawi. Then in Malawi we follow the lake edge from more or less the central Malawi area all the way down to Cape Maclear. So we do 4 nights on the lake edge. 2 nights at just south of Mzuzu, so we stop in Mzuzu for some grocery shoppings at the ShopRite, and then further down to Cape Maclear, where we do a little bit of the normal Cape Maclear stuff, sunset cruises and snorkeling and all that stuff that we normally would do there. From Cape Maclear back into Zambia, just across the border into Zambia, Chipata, then down to Lusaka, and from Lusaka we'll go down into Botswana again. And that is the route itself. Now, the one big thing that we have is the bats. Now, the bat migration, last year when we were there, they were busy counting them again. They count them every 4 or 5 years. They set up cameras everywhere and they take pictures of the bats and they start counting them. But the estimate is between 5 and 10 million fruit bats. They go there specifically in November because there's a small brown fruit in that part of Zambia that is out at that time of the year, and the fruit bats go specifically for that. When we drive up, you'll see the fruit being sold next to the river, and next to the road, and that is the reason why they are there. And if you look at the numbers of the fruit bats, the tons of bats that's in the air, it's like 200 elephants at the same time. The amount of fruit that they eat every night is spectacular. Now, Kasanka National Park is one of the nicest campsites if you want to see Sitatunga that you sometimes see in the Muremi, very scarce. At Kasanka you see quite a few of them. the bats itself is just awesome. So we go to one of the hides at the night, and we see the departure of the bats. So they sit there just before sunset. They all gather up like you see in this picture, and then they go out for the night to feed. If you want to get up early in the morning, you go back to the hide and you can see them arriving back. But what we normally would do is we do one of the hides in a tree from this vantage point for the first night, and then on the second night you can decide if you want to do it again. Then you just pay your $30 for, or $20 or whatever it is for the vantage point, and you go up with their guide. But on the second night we would do let's call it a parking lot view. So we stay on the ground, we take our chairs, take a coffee, and we just sit on the ground and we watch them as the bats come overhead. It's a very different experience than being in the tree. So yeah, if you haven't done the bats, it's time to do it. It really is a life-changing experience, very different than the wildebeest migration in Serengeti, but very much the same emotional feeling that you get when you see it. It's a really awesome sight. Together with the bats, up to Kapisha Hot Springs to just sit in the hot spring and just relax for a little bit of time, and then also to do the Malawi Lake Edge, good season for it. It really makes for a very nice tour. Let me know if you are interested, and make your booking as soon as you can. Otherwise, it might just fill up very quickly. Thanks for watching, and see you soon. Cheers.